All right. Right. Moving on from that, I guess. Like, clearly I've found Buffy the bartender. No. Really? Nobody's triggering to this. Is it just me that's seeing it then? This is clearly Alison Hannigan as, like, lesbian vampire Willow, right? This is 100% Alison Hannigan. Like, I mean, if you've never... Oh, my God. Okay, right. Well, I've discovered something about my audience now. Has anybody watched How I Met Your Mother as well? Also, hello, Mel. Mel, please tell me you've watched Buffy or How I've Met Your Mother. Also, how was it at the market? Was it heaving? Was it busy? Right, let's begin the demo, shall we? And we get an encoding overload. Great. This is definitely... 6 months ago, you died. You know How I Met... Is it... but you watched it... really? I guess this is doing it on its own. We have to click. Okay. I guess it's a visual novel. There's going to be a lot of clicking. The story of your life is yours to celebrate. Mourn and forget. This is the story of your death. What is your name? This may not have been your name in life, but it is the name that you now wear. All else is your business, casting as much or as little light on your path as you choose. We can have a randomize. Jackson Morgan, and apparently we're broke. I'm not feeling Jackson Morgan. Wyatt Silanus? I'm making a credit card, apparently, yes. One more. Let's go one more. Aurora Haynes. You know what? Yeah, okay, I'm feeling Aurora. Let's go with that. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Everything began with the stranger. They took you into their life, then took yours. Their blood now runs through your veins, and you carry their memory in your flesh. But who were they? The scholar, the hedonist, the warrior, the aristocrat, the shadow. I'm thinking a hedonist. Oh, actually, here we go. Scholar, wisdom of the centuries, stalking through the labyrinth of dusty tomes. I was on mute during a meeting, but I lived for Buffy and Angel. But yeah, we're of the same age, true. But if I was on mute, I was probably also on another screen, and you didn't see the image either. But like, I will just hope the YouTube audience are there with me. Wisdom of centuries, stalking through labyrinths of dusty tomes. You learned much under their rarely patient tutelage, in padded safety that was at best a prison, at worst a cage. You developed new skills at greatly increased rate. Our hedonist, passion and torture, love and depravity. They delighted in testing your every limit and teasing your conscience past them until nothing remained but a hunger for ever greater excess. You're immune to the effects of tainted blood, which would otherwise greatly limit you until it wears off. An iron soul forged into a blade by centuries of strife. Their training would have killed you had such mercy been more than a memory, but you emerged stronger than you ever thought possible. You keep your bones nicely oiled, do you, Mal? Fair enough. Also, I missed that from Kim. Vampire with the name of an artist that has the song about running with wolves at night. Edgelord incoming. The aristocrat, a wolf amongst sheep. The privilege of wealth. Also, what was it doing? Can wield any weapon like an expert. Okay. Privilege of wealth. Power sharpened to the finest point. For a while, you wanted for nothing. Then, just as quickly, your novelty faded and left behind nothing but obligation. Developed suspicion at a greatly reduced rate. And then the shadow. What does the shadow know? A drifter, a rumor. They moved from town to town, fading like a bad memory. Why did they choose to bring you along? That was their secret to know, just as yours is why you parted ways. Your hunting skills are unmatched amongst your peers. I think I like learning extra skills, like increased skill, but I'm gonna go with the hedonist. I was gonna go with that anyway, but seeing this thing of like tainted blood, which would limit us. So I'm feeling the hedonist. Oh, there's more. This is very Vampire the Masquerade coded, isn't it? We've picked our kind of the kindred that took us sort of thing, and like background stuff. Yeah, this is very VTM coded. New lineage is one pain and potential stretching back centuries from the darkest legends of every corner of the world where people have cause to fear the night. What is its story? Very good, Vampire. Come to think it, with your ADHD, you swear you'd have a desk in your castle you'd haven't assembled for like 600 years. It's good to see that like you're painstakingly keeping the IKEA furniture in its box even far into the future, right? Okay, right. New world. Children of the night who see their past in modern fables and Hollywood lore, particularly prevalent in the United States. They combine ancient power with modern technology better than most. You gain more benefit from your companion skills. Oh wait, we get companions? Alright. From the old country, an echo of tragedy from the depths of dark forests and forbidding swamps. The victims of long-dead horrors still carry the blood of their murderers, condemned to pass it to each new generation. There are few that you cannot intimidate with your presence. Okay. This is the Nosferatu run, right? Imperial. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. Hailing from the alchemical heritage of Britain. The original Imperials whispered in the ears of nobility and travelled throughout the empire on their black ships, leaving tragedy in their wake. You gain wealth and prestige at a greatly increased rate. Well, if I'm going to make money, I'm going to be the Brit, aren't I? Continental. So I'm thinking like states, actually kind of the old country, it's going to go full NOS. It's going to be Transylvania. Obviously Brits. Continental, they are showing the fleur-de-lis. I guess we could be French. An expert of seduction and manipulate. We were also a hedonist. Are we going to be French? I guess so. From the eternal dynasties of Europe to the solitary loners of quiet peasant hamlets, continental vampires are known for their ability to move through human society with both ease and arrogance. Or the Mandarin. Magic flows in your veins, supposedly the legacy of the Zhengxi sorcery from ancient China. Although some object to that interpretation, legend speaks of a great sacrifice that all who share in it must one day make. Natural talent allows you to use your gift more regularly. I think we're going to sleep our way through this. We're here for the seduction. We're already hedonist. Let's go. But we're also French. Oh, it's purple, so... Oh, no, this is going to be our abilities. I think it's going to be a mesmerize, isn't it? Everybody knows that vampiric powers are myth, propaganda, fantasy. Everybody is wrong, as you learn shortly after your awakening. But what new power waited on the edge of possibility? You wield the puppet strings of hypnosis, domination. Weaker minds are yours to command, to a point. The effect soon wears off. Even they balk at actions too contrary to their nature. Other vampires are immune to mesmerize. We can speak with dead. Dead men tell tales. That depends on how you ask. Echoes of life linger around corpses and scenes of trauma. You know their language and can call upon them for their secrets. This enables you to witness echoes of trauma and recently deceased. The beast within. Something claws at your soul, begging to be let off the leash. When freed, you feel your bones cracking, sharpening, reshaping, taking on a primal perfection and beyond. You have a chance to automatically turn the tide of losing battles. Actually, that's not awful. The rat. Rats, cockroaches, spiders, flies. The denizens of the night flock to your call, obey your orders. Cats, of course, keep their own counsel. Will not be swayed by mere vampires. It can also allow you to see through the eyes of your minion. Okay. Tembranian form. Shadows are your cloak. You can shift into darkness at will to evade your enemies or transcend the limits of physical flesh. It is a power that few have even heard of, let alone mastered. Light is a natural enemy of shadowmancers. I think we're committing to the bit. I am going to be the incredibly flirty, hedonistic person that just hypnotizes people. I think we're committing to the bit. Oh, there's more abilities. Okay. Life and death taught you many things, but what is your primary sphere of knowledge? Okay, culture. You are well versed in all arts, from painted masterpieces to classical opera. Perhaps you have been known to create your own works and earned a measure of acclaim. Scientific discoveries to fixing computers. There is little in modern life you cannot master or at least turn off and on again. Academia. You always excelled in scholarly pursuits, including history, geography, and world languages. Somewhere, your achievements hang upon the walls as a testimony to all your teachers had to impart. You have learned the language of the gutter and the lessons of experience. You hear the unspoken words of the street and know all the steps of its complex dance. Or the occult. What others consider forbidden art, you think of as light reading. You may or may not have picked up much of the practical, but your mind is a codex of stolen secrets. I think we're going to be about the street as well. We're going to hustle. Oh, still more choices. Oh, no. We can change stuff. So, our sire is the hedonist, origin, continental, mesmer, and street. This is who I am in the dark. So, there's actually, there's solid RPG stuff here. It's a visual novel, so it's just going to react to, what we can maybe say to people. But it definitely sounded like there's skills involved. So this is feel proper RPG stuff. Then let us begin. Are we beginning anytime soon? It's just a black screen. Oh, there we go. We've got something in the bottom corner there. Eventually. The prologue, A Second Life. Also, even the font's kind of reminiscent of VTM, isn't it? Streets of Cradlebridge, Monday, the small hours. The last known address, another night, the same thirst. Rain pours down onto a naked city, as cold and oppressive as ever. The night is no longer quiet and never still, not since the veil fell, when the world learned that there were monsters living amongst them, monsters like you, no longer protected by the shadows. Knock on Elijah Morrow's apartment door. This is the place, deep in the tenements of Cradlebridge. Okay, so we're about half-blood? That's Blood Chief Vampire, remember? Fighting uses gifts. Hell, minding your own business. It'll make a corpse real thirsty. Oh, so is that ticking over? Oh, in last year's model. Still reckon the full stuff might want to know, maybe. Can I click on that? I can. Here we go. Right. We've got a phone. Welcome back, Aurora Haynes. It's September 1st. 6 months ago, you died and were reborn. For reasons remain your own. You left your sire in search of a new future in the one city where humans and vampires are trying to forge a new future together. Welcome to the Nightbook. Congratulations, Aurora Haynes. You've found your way to a beautiful city where vampires and humans are reforging a new union under both sun and stars. Remember, your amnesty is contingent upon adherence to the new century code and revocable. New converts find warm welcome and free blood at the Salvation Center in Cradlebridge Old Town. Welcome. Your new life begins tonight. High cost of dying. You are promised that this city, even vampires, could have a fresh start. This has not so far been the case. You have a month left to seize the night before you find yourself cast out onto unfriendly streets. But the streets are my friend. Before he vanished into the streets of this city, your sire's vassal, Elijah Morrow, took something from you. Your only link to who you used to be. No contacts? Okay, this is our save states. And, our stats, okay. We are very much a grifter. We're tier 2 grifter, everything else is 1. Intimidation is a 0, but domination 1, seduction, 3. Also, outfit, charity shop, rags. Simple sword, pair of jeans, unmatching shirt, perfect blending in what the downtrodden mass is. What it lacks in style, it makes up for in the previous owners. Okay, so we're going to have to buy some clothes as well, apparently. Alright, well, sure, let's knock. Hey, down here, need help? I'm your stone cold pal. Okay, so the gargoyle's just clippy. No answer. Not a surprise. While you hardly share your sire's anger towards Morrow for vanishing into the night, he has reason to be afraid. Traitors who lack the sense to look over their shoulders only have themselves to blame. The only important skill in life, seduction. Exactly. Your brawler skills are capable of this. Your thief skills are capable of this. Are they really? We've just looked and I'm tier 1 and tier 1, so I guess it's the most basic door possible. I'm going to try picking the lock. The door easily gives way. Beyond the doorway, the apartment is empty. The fact that you can cross the threshold without an invitation is proof that nobody currently calls it home. It'd still be best to be done quickly. Morrow's apartment is a temple of filth and decay. The foul smell of standing water hangs in the air, seeping out from a small bathroom towards the tiny bed and its bare mattress. Every mirror is broken, as is most of the furniture. Rain beats against the cracked windows. The damp has worked its way into every nook and crevice. You close the door behind you, not bothering with the primitive lock. This is the last lead you have on Morrow's location, and the reason for your pursuit. A watch for whose second hand is no longer ticks. Carefully engraved with the dead person's name. Gold ring, tarnished but important, a memory of a relationship. And a locket with a broken clasp. Let's go with the ring. It was not worth much, but it's yours. Why he took it, you do not know. An accident? A moment of cruelty? An order of your sire? Looking to remove any troublesome ties? That is something he can answer when you find him. It was the last remaining piece of your old life, the last reminder of sunlight and a heart that still beats. It is, however, not here. The only real hope is that Morrow left it in a hurry and didn't cover his tracks as well as he might have done. There is only one way to know for sure. Search for clues. Bed, desk, bathroom. Consider evidence you have discovered. Okay, no, it looks like we might be able to do all of them. Okay, let's root around in the cheap bed. The bed is bare mattress atop a cracked wooden frame. There is a single pillow and a few unwashed bits of clothing that apparently served Morrow as a blanket while he was here. A coat, a pair of pants, an old pizza box lies next to them. Let's rifle through his pockets. Pockets all appear to be empty until you get a pair of old black slacks. Inside is a wallet, empty except for a few nickels, organ donor card, and a long expired driver's license. Elijah Morrow, your sire's vassal, working in the sun so that they could rule the night. The traitor. At least now you have a photograph to show people, instead of trying to describe the man with a few distinguishing features except for the neck scars. Is there a receipt? No, there's a rat. If we were friends with rats, we'd be able to ask questions. An irritated rat squeaks angrily, having been stirred from its impromptu bed amongst the crusted strands of mozzarella.
A rat?
We're going to carefully put it down. What's under the bed? Aside from dust, the only thing under the bed is a small shoebox. Inside, a pair of syringes, a spoon and rubber tourniquet, and some needles. They seem blunt, heavily used. Okay, what's in the desk? Desk is small and cramped with a chair that wobbles uncertainly at the slightest touch. On it, a barely started letter reads, "Cynthia, please," then trails off. The garbage bin next to it is full of equally aborted drafts. Okay, we just go top to bottom then, I guess. You pull the drawer, but unsurprisingly, it is indeed locked tight. Someone has even fixed the handle. The grip on the handle is tight, and it offers little resistance. Inside the drawer, you see a small leather-bound book, Morrow's diary. It begins in his usual copperplate handwriting, but by the end has devolved into barely coherent scrawling. Skip to the end. I'm free. I'm finally free. But I still feel it inside me. I've cut it out, bled it out. I won't go back. I won't lose myself again. Open drawer. It's empty except for a few spare bits of paper, some pens and pencils, and a small spider that scuttles around in terror of the sunlight. Sudden light, sorry. Bottom drawer. There's nothing in it except for some wax and your sire's seal. The mark that told those that in the know that Morrow was authorized to speak on their behalf. A somewhat antiquated sign of confidence, but not an uncommon one. Older vampires do tend to enjoy ceremony. Alright. There's a filthy bathtub. We can't... there's a corpse in there. Right. Bare, splintered wood underfoot. A cheap ceramic bath with barely enough room for an average-sized person to sit in it. The hot water is disconnected. The state of the toilet is in the corner is best left unmentioned. Never mind actively investigated. I got a green flash, I'm guessing that's good. Yellowing bath is cramped and heavily stained in reddish brown blood. If a vampire knows anything by sight, it's blood. The stain is old and has worked itself in deep. Something in the cistern? Probably his drugs. Did not, in fact, hide anything in the cistern, nor did he flush before he departed. Yeah, go on then. Let's flush before we leave. You lower the toilet lid and close the cistern, departing on a very, very slight moral high. That really does not matter much in the great scheme of things. Cabinet is mostly empty. A bottle of cheap off-brand aspirin in an empty pack of iron supplements. Underneath that is a small metal key, too small for the door. Key to Morrow's desk, most likely. Oh, well, we ripped open the drawer anyway. There seems to be little point picking it up now. This was definitely where Morrow ended up after shirking his mission in this miserable city and severing all contact with the hedonist. While here, he tried to bleed himself dry of his master's blood. Their influence, does that work? Vampiric vassals are typically too subordinate to their lords to even try. The same is not true of their heirs. You are here on your own business, nobody else's. Ancient instincts prickle, you're not alone. Behind you, a breath of defiant fear, defying not just your presence, but the ever-crawling urge to get away from it as quickly as possible. Turn, hands raised in readiness. An open palm can so easily become a claw.
What do you think you're doing in here?
There's actual voice acting.
Damn cold bloods acting like you own the place. Dead is dead.
I have sufficient blood to tell her to put the gun down. You fix the old woman with a hypnotic gaze. The effects don't last long, but they usually last long enough. She drops the gun to the ground without even apparently realizing it, still holding up her hands as if ready to shoot. The warmth of her blood calls out to you. How long has it been since you last fed? Too long. Too many hungry nights struggling with your thirst, the need to keep a low profile. But now it's close enough that you can almost smell it. Hear it pumping and pounding in her chest. Hot, alive, pure. Every instinct whispers to you to take it all, that nobody will ever know, nobody will care. So, are we likely to break the masquerade if we drain her dry? Indulge yourself on this moment of good fortune. Resist the urge at least this time. Move on before they become impossible to ignore. Let's not leave a trail. Right? The thirst burns, but your self-control is stronger. You control yourself, squeezing your fist into a ball until the urge faints. The terrified woman stares at you wide-eyed, with no idea how close she just came to breathing her last. Ask her politely to get the hell out of your way. I mean, I've got a 3 in seduction. I was going to say, if we biff that... The old woman backs against the wall, mumbling a prayer under her breath as you walk past her. You stride back through the door before she has a chance to reconsider or to shout out for help. There is nothing more to be found here in any event. Morrow is long gone. Step back out onto the cold streets. Cradlebridge, the dead market district of a dying city. The perfect place to stash those vampires unable to claw their way up from the gutter. A place where vampires can gain amnesty for any and all past crimes in exchange for a pinky promise to keep their instincts in check henceforth. Home, at least for now. If only vampires still had nothing to fear at night. 2 figures in leather watch from the depths of an alleyway. They see you walking alone. They see that even in the cold of night, your breath leaves no clouds. You pass, trying to avoid eye contact. It has been many days since you fed properly. The pair recognize your weakness, even at a distance. Oh, they're donning masks. Hello, Bulgogi. How are we? Their steps match yours as they put on their masks. Cheap, featureless party masks sprayed white. Originally a sop to anonymity. Now a symbol of defiance against vampires sharing the streets with the still living. Trouble. Let's get into combat, shall we? Oh, you've been rolling like ass, have you? But he scored a crit, at least one last hit on the enemy. And maxed out the Searing Smite, did you? I see. Let's get into some combat. You turn, and for just a moment the pair take a step backwards. The moment doesn't last. You can sense their anticipation as they produce their weapons. Step forward to do their part in keeping the streets safe for people who bleed like them. Opponents will be a serious challenge. Okay, we lost a little bit of health. Your spirit takes the pair by surprise. Most vampires around here are starved, feeble creatures, unable to put up a fight. Suddenly, what should have been an evening's entertainment has become considerably less enjoyable for them. The masked woman reaches a hand into her pocket. Moonlight catches on the edge of a pistol.
Now, play fair, darlings.
A voice from the alleyway entrance. Confident silhouette framed in the city's lights beyond. Swooshing sound cuts the air. Moonlight glints on a blur as fast as moving metal. A throwing knife hurled with deadly precision. A merciful aim spears the masked woman's hand, sends the gun clattering into the shadows.
2 against 1?
All
well,
eyes.
That's not very sporting.
I'm trying to read the rest of the lines, love. All eyes turn to the figure standing in the alley entrance, smirking with fanged amusement, and another knife already primed. The would-be sharpshooter grips her bleeding hand tight. The white-haired woman sighs, retrieving her throwing knife. It vanishes into thin air with the flick of her wrist. She smiles at you, eyes flicking up and down to check for injuries.
Come on, darling. Let's get you back home while it's still nice and dark.
With what seems more professional interest than actual concern. Thank her for her timely assistance, sure.
You're welcome, darling. We modern monsters must stick together.
She offers a hand to help us steady your legs. A friendly face in the city is a rare thing indeed. The King of Cradlebridge. I mean, it's Vampire the Masquerade without the actual license, right? We're off to see the prince. Another shitty night. The rusted metal of your bed creaks underneath you. Its mattress damp and encrusted with ancient patches of blood, sweat, and semen. The last stinging memories of the day's bad dreams fade into increasingly familiar drip, drip, drip of a waking nightmare lit by a cheap flickering bulb. Reluctantly, you crawl out of bed. So, have we had any more messages? Oh, clash of symbols. You came to the city in hope of a fresh start, but the last connection you have to the previous life, but only found poverty, intolerance, and hunger. Now you sit in a cheap hotel room with little obvious future. Nothing new? No, we're in the hotel. Okay. I mean, I didn't get to pick up the gun? Never mind. Alright. Everything aches. Everything is cold. Your blood sits stagnant in your veins, no longer at the whim of a beating heart. You pull yourself to your feet and take a moment to lick at your still unfamiliar fangs. Do we have a reflection? You wipe the dust from the mirror. No, no reflection. Okay. Of course, but the empty frame staring back through you is still discomforting. Perhaps for a moment, however, that is for the best. What do we have in our drawers? Cross atop a Gideon Bible stings your eyes, burning like chili pepper. Unable to bring yourself to touch it, you shut the drawer tight. The pain slowly fades, though the scorched after image lingers considerably longer. Fix the planks back into position and look down on the street below. It is quiet, but not the peaceful, relaxing kind. It is the quiet of a place where everyone minds their own business because they really don't want to get caught up in everyone else's. 8 years ago, the world changed forever. You came to the city in the hope of finding a place where your new nature... 8 years ago? I thought it was 6 months ago we died. Wait, what? Okay, that's hell of a time skip. Came to the city in hope of finding a place where new nature would be accepted. Instead, you found little but suspicion, fear, and poverty. But everything changes in time. Outcasts rise. And now you call yourself immortal. It's a new act. Each one you'll have some big thing to do and a whole load of options to explore. By the end of the month, don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to get stuff done. Okay. Cheap Hotel is one of the most impoverished, dangerous parts of the city. The windows are barely boarded up enough to keep the sun from your skin, and the room's heater struggles to even keep the edge off the rising damp. Home for now. We can't plan a hunt for tonight. You don't know the city well enough yet. Okay. Let's root through the wardrobe. We've just got our shitty clothes. You open the wardrobe and pick a suitable equipment for tonight's adventure. Birthday suit's still technically a suit. I mean, it's one way to impress, right? Let's leave our sanctuary. Mysterious woman. As you prepare to leave, someone kicks on your door. The woman from the previous night is standing there, looking at you with a smile. She's helped you back here last night, but you were too tired and bruised.
I just thought I'd drop by and see how you're settling in.
Never did get a proper introduction last night.
Mystery, questions, aren't they the most delicious things in life? All that matters is that Madame Lux performs magic to astonish the mind every Tuesday and Thursday at the Sleepless Moon. I do hope to see you there.
Sleepless Moon, when's that?
Darling, you wound me. And to think, I spent all that time putting up brand new posters.
Alright, we found a stage magician. Oh no. Ask for advice. Also, can I click on that? Most vampires hide in the shadows before the veil came down. Madame Lux embraced the spotlight, combining her new undead nature with practical magic tricks to carve out a gothic niche. Until recently, most thought her fangs simply an accessory, and her lack of reflection a particularly ironic use of smoke and mirrors. Madame Lux performs Sleepless Moon Burlesque House. Oh, it's a burlesque house. Well, we're definitely visiting then. Every Tuesday and Thursday.
If I was you, my dear little sweetmeat, I'd try to get out of this place as soon as possible. Definitely get yourself something to eat. Or someone. I won't tell if you don't.
Halcyon has very much lived down to its reputation.
It's not exactly the Ritz, I know, but, well, at least it's cheap. I stayed here a while myself when I first arrived in this charming city. A few nights was quite enough. Still, it keeps that naughty sun off your back,
She mentioned finding a place to get some food.
Well, I wasn't thinking of a healthy Caesar salad, dear. A city like this is a veritable buffet, and most of us have had to, how to put this, hunt fresh at some point or another. Nightclubs are perfect, or a nice back alley. Somewhere the little puppets are nice and pliable.
I mean, are you busy?
Ordinarily, I would have to decline. But, well, I do enjoy bringing a little magic to this miserable little town. Perhaps if you would lend me your assistance, I might lend you mine.
Sure.
To adventure, then. Do lead on.
Okay, so this is basically how companions work. Okay, that's your companion. They help you out. It's just play and just play and keep your company. You can swap them out back at the sanctuary. Okay, so she's more seductive than me. Wait, this is my gig. I'm supposed to be the seductive one. Damn it. Okay. New favor. A friendly face. Friendly face in a strange city is a rare thing. You have met a new friend, or at least a potential traveling companion, willing to help you out should you wish it. Alright, so she's better than me at fighting. The cards, I presume that's magic? She's more seductive than me. Unless this is my skills and little orange ones are like what she's giving as a boost. It could be that. Because I was 3. What's that? Let me double check. Stats. Grifter. No! That's exactly how it's working. She's boosting my scores. So no! I'm still the seductive one here! It's fine. She's just giving me an extra nudge. Okay, right. Let's head out. The elevator is cramped, rickety, and so thick with competing odors that it's almost cancel each other out. A slight mercy. Let's head down to the lobby. Halcyon is a fine old building, now past its prime. The paint is peeled and every surface sticky. The rat droppings trodden into the carpet, slithering cockroaches behind the wallpaper, say more of the place's standards than any review. Let's just head straight out. I don't think we need to talk to him, do we? You step from the damp warmth of the Halcyon into the streets of Cradlebridge, where light is swallowed by the darkness and a few dare venture without good cause. Old Town is not far, and seems like the best place to begin your search for Morrow. But your thirst burns. It will not be left unsatiated, for long. You're wrapping up now, are you? Probably till tomorrow. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow then, mate. Also, the music's a little on the loud side. Can I do anything about audio? Music's already nudged down a bit. Auto waits to give you time to read the narration. Ah, there we go. Let's give me a slightly longer delay. Right. Though it doesn't sound like it's changed the background music much, does it? Okay. I guess we're knocking it down to there? Madam Lux gestures for you to follow her. Apparently it took like 15-20 minutes. Madam Lux leads you out into the streets to a pitch not too far from Old Town. She has her equipment ready, and it seems clear that you have kindly volunteered to be her assistant for the evening. When asked for details, she just smiles and says, "Spoilers, darling." Finally, she decides on a good spot to start.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have an assistant who won't press charges. Oh, don't worry, darling. Nothing can possibly go wrong. This time.
She prepares to begin her routine. Madam Lux begins her performance. She holds out a clear resin ball, something embedded in the center, a Rubik's Cube, comprehensively scrambled. With effort and skill, she begins juggling it along with 2 other balls. Before throwing it in the air and catching it, she presents it to the audience. The sealed puzzle now perfectly solved. There's a smattering of applause. She scans the crowd for a volunteer. Lux produces 5 torches, dipping their heads into paraffin. One by one, lighting them with a sweep of her hand. Lit, she hands 2 of them to you and begins juggling the other 3 in increasingly dramatic arcs. Sometimes with one hand behind her back. Your mechanic skill will be tested here. We're definitely going to set ourselves on fire. We'll wait for instructions. Fire and vampires do not get on very well.
What's that? You want to see something difficult? Darlings, this is difficult. Watch closely. There will not be an encore.
She throws one of her knives into the air. Looks up at it, head tilted and wide-mouthed open. The crowd murmurs as the knife plunges down through Madam Lux's lips, caught by her teeth in a confident fanged smile as she continues jungling, between torches and gestures until the audience grudgingly starts its applause. A few coins finally land, rattling in her waiting hat. crowd fades away, Madame Lux checks her hat. It's an unimpressive hall. The people of Cradlebridge are happy to enjoy a free show, but only until it stops being one.
Never mind. It's not money that matters, after all. That's what we in the art like to say, if only to try and persuade ourselves.
Glances around looking for stragglers. You can hear what Lux whispers into the audience's member's ear, but it has an immediate effect. Mesmerism. That's my thing! You know its taste well. They follow her into alleyway like a puppet with strings severed. A glassy expression on their eyes. Lux beckons you to join her. Yeah, we could do lunch. Vampires rarely offer to share their prizes like this. There we go, we've been topped up. The assistant. You join Lux in the alleyway. She doesn't feed from them and stands with her eyes politely averted while you do. Does, however, ensure that you do not take too much or leave the victim incapable of attending future performances. A good artist never kills their audience if they can avoid it. Prop up the body against the wall. Yeah, sure. With business concluded, Lux casually packs away her knives and other equipment. The show is over, but the night is just beginning. You know very few people in the city, and a friendly face is hard to come by. However, your business remains your own, and time is constantly ticking by. Are we gonna carry on hanging out with her? Like, maybe she can point us in the directions of interesting places, or do... You know what? Fuck it, let's explore on our own.
Very well. Until our next meeting.
She bows dramatically and gets back to work. Though it's still showing her here. So we've got the Bricks, Free Clinic, Old Town. You are here at Halcyon Hotel. 24 minutes to get there, 12 minutes to get to the clinic. He was an addict. He did bleed himself. Like, that does feel like a good place to maybe look for clues. Cold face of charity. Dim light of charity glows in this corner of the largely deserted strip mall. The other establishments are closed or empty. A couple of young drug dealers hang around outside, ready to move in on anyone in obvious signs of pain or addiction. Inside the crowded waiting room smells a harsh antiseptic, with the overworked and barely paid doctors spending more time on triage than medicine. Can I ask the drug dealers? I've got his driving license now. Definitely feels like they'd be willing to... Well, not willing to, but more likely to have information. Let's approach the stern-looking woman at the reception desk, I guess. Yeah, we have a driving license. You approach the reception desk. The receptionist glares at you, instantly aware of what you are. Her hand reaches, not with any real attempt at subtlety, to an alarm button under the desk. She doesn't press it, but her finger hovers. The receptionist looks at the license, but only shrugs. If Morrow has been here, he hasn't made an impression. Is it worth it? I mean, we're broke. What I know of the American medical system, like, that's probably not good. I guess it's a free clinic. I guess, maybe. Raphael's Hotel. Words. Receptionist gives you a weary look. She scribbles something down on a pad and pushes it across the table. Her handwriting is hard to read, but you can make out the words Finch and Street St. Raphael's. Once you've read it, she pulls pad back. Alright, we have a new location. Old Town, Halcyon. There you go, St. Raphael's. Baby vampire in training. Oh. Wandering down the side street, you encounter a nervous-looking girl in tough street clothing, with which neither suit nor fit her. She seems to be trying to attract the attention of passing vampires. With somewhat few are around at this corner in Cradlebridge. Occasionally she stops and touches her fangs, clearly still uncomfortable with them. Are we going to talk to her? I guess you put an NPC in front of me. We have to talk to them. Girl looks relieved, as if she wanted to throw herself into your arms. Her eyes flicker nervously, not quite meeting yours.
Oh, thank God. I've been so alone since I got, since it happened. I'm new in this city, and I really need to find a blood pact to join. Are you part of one already? It's, okay to say if you are.
Blood pact?
You don't know about blood pacts? It's like the law, isn't it? The secret, the secret empire government gay.
So, the coterie, then. Right, really is just Vampire the Masquerade. You've never even heard of the secret government.
Of course, nobody talks about it. They're not going to break the covenant of silence. That's the...
Or the masquerade.
The sevenfold proclamations. The deacon would be furious.
The deacon? That's going to be the sheriff, isn't it?
You haven't even made exordium to the deacon? But what if the Fury's here? Oh, don't worry. He'll be merciful. Probably.
She grabs you by the arm. The girl quickly drags you down a street to a door behind the bookshop. Cygnus Rare Books. The door leads down into a red basement, moodily lit with flickering candles. Alright, very least, come on. No one got the barmaid, but please, come on. Somebody? Anybody? There's definitely... That's based on someone, right? Right? I'm waiting for any response in chat.
Deacon Mace. Darkness, smile on you, master.
The basement is laid out. Really? No responses. Just a blinking slowly from Friday. The basement is laid out like a low-budget temple, decorated with vampiric imagery and wall scrolls listing something called the Scarlet Ordinances. At the back sits a figure on a makeshift throne, one gold tooth glinting in light. He beckons to you. The girl totters forward on her ill-fitting heels, bowing as she makes her own introduction. Follow her and show your respects. Show absolute no respect.
Yes, I thought it would be your hand at work here. Meet Master Maze, darling. You old cockroach. It really hasn't been long enough.
Ah, Miss Lux. A quite indescribable stab in the genitalia to see you again, my dear.
You know each other? You haven't paid attention. Looting houses in Rivington. Okay. Right. Staring at that face, Mal. Anything? Anybody getting anything? No? I'll give you a clue. Space! Anyway. You know each other?
Oh my, yes. This corseted hypocrite has made her opinion of my games most clear.
Games, he says. Huh. An interesting word for tricking people out of their money.
And how much, might I ask, is a ticket to one of your little displays of sparkling honesty,
Okay. I'm feeling some tension here. Sexual or otherwise.
Oh, it hardly matters. A little profitable mischief of no real harm, nothing more. Hazel, an educational note. Be more careful who you approach. Time is a poor resource to waste.
Does this secret vampire government scam actually work? Does this deal with Hazel? What's the deal with Hazel? Does this?
It is one of my more successful little ruses since the tearing down of the veil. Shall I tell you a little secret about people? People long to be part of something. A greater story, to give their pain meaning. They crave it, and will drink down any insipid little falderal that dares make them feel special. A kindness, really.
So there's definitely no secret society out there.
Can we truly say there is not? Any secret society has a wonderful advantage, to wit, being secret. The rest is merely trimming.
So what's the deal with the girl with the oversized teeth?
Dear, darling Hazel. My thrall, if you pardon the expression. I thought this would be an interesting little test of wit, to find suitably pliable marks. Alas, you stand as evidence that she failed, rather miserably at that.
So what happens now?
That, it would seem, rather depends on you. The precept of silence has done sterling work up in concealing the mischief until now. Alas, I fear that were you to spread the word of our little enterprise, I suspect it would be short-lived. Unless, of course, you would be interested in a little reciprocative benefit. 10%, say?
Oh, we get a kickback! I'm here for the bribes. Accept the cut of the profits from this scam. Demand 20%. Your grifter skills are an even match for this. I mean, she's still with me, right? So I'm still getting the buff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with Team Curry here.
My friend.
No, okay.
Bargain like a Frenchman.
I am French!
10% is the fair amount for what you must concede is very little effort.
Maze has lost some respect for us. Oh no. What will I do? Fine.
Absolute pleasure to find another soul in this accursed city that can spot an opportunity when it presents itself. Let us shake hands and part with no hard feelings.
And we have a new contact. He hustles you out of the basement temple. A long distraction. As you emerge from the shop, head still ringing, you check the time. That encounter took longer than most. The evening is no longer as young. I mean, it's only 10 to 10. Like, presumably we have until dawn, right? Still have business to attend to. Yeah, we were going down to the hospital, weren't we? Yeah, we go. Imposing barbed wire fences block off the condemned, burned-out hospital. Many of the old wards are now rotting shooting galleries, where heroin-addled addicts sit and stare into space, rusted needles searching for usable veins. The main reception building is largely intact, but no more welcoming. Yeah. We're looking for a druggie. It's the same girl that tried to beat me up last night, right? Without the mask. You approach the main building. Crackling music seeps from an old cassette deck, an unfamiliar tune. The guard at the door switches off and gives you an unwelcoming stare. We're here to see the doctor.
That goddamn freak. Hid away here for years, pretending to be normal. Fire put an end to that. Hard to pretend you're one of us after. You'll see. You'll find him down in the basement. Follow the screams.
Maybe he's a nos. Why is she guarding this wreck then?
Place burned down years ago, didn't it? Anything else? Ain't none of your business.
Was the direction from the voice acting director like a little bit of Harley Quinn in there, just in the voice, like just a faint hint. Let's go visit the doctor then. You approach the dark corridor leading into the bowels of St. Raphael's. Lux is quite happy to wait behind while you visit the Doctor of Death. Descend from the hospital grounds into the remnants of the basement littered with rusted metal equipment and scorched with fire. A scream cuts through the air, only to be cut off and replaced with an echoing hum. An old tune accompanied by a crack of bone and chewing of saw through gristle. I guess at least he's got some pants on. Unless the British pants. Okay, he's got the tighty whities. They might be covered in blood, though. Figure clad in filthy undergarments and a doctor's coat hunches over a table, his skin burned and blistered. Under his bone saw lies a patient, biting down on a thick stick while straining. Fanged teeth. Their stomach is open, ribs bent and twisted. The doctor slices happily into the necrotic fat.
Now, don't be a big baby. Let's see a brave face. There we go. Nurse, forceps.
You know what? Sure, we'll help. You approach the doctor inside the patient. Inside the patient's chair rise a mass of black worms, oily and slithering. The doctor scoops out a handful. Humming to himself, he notices you as he turns to drop them with difficulty into an already overflowing bucket.
Rotworms. Ooh, nasty little things, but fascinating. They grow inside the stomach and feast on the delicious necrotic tissue. Over time, the flesh grows back, the little worms have little babies. Life. It always finds a way.
Did this to this woman? Patient stares at you over her wide open ribcage. All the screaming has left her hoarse and her voice impossible to hear. She swallows hard, trying to make a gesture that grisly as the scene is, she's grateful for the doctor's torturous ministrations. Yeah, this is an old history version of Jurassic Park, where we're just bringing vampires back from bugs in amber. The doctor smiles as if that settles it. Doctor pats his patient down with a crusty old towel, leans down and plants an affectionate kiss on their exhausted forehead. As a final gesture, he digs a hand into his pocket and procures something. A cherry lollipop coated in dust and lint. He pops it into the patient's mouth and wipes his hands on his bloody coat.
The true spirit of modern medicine.
Get to know Samuel better. Ask about your current investigations. Discuss the possibility of treatment. Ask about treatment for tainted blood. We're okay with tainted blood. That was one of the things we took as we're not as affected by. Let's ask about the doctor. Hums to himself, sharpening one of his implements instead of against a filthy sheet of sandpaper. Himself.
Ah, you are curious. It's the hair, isn't it? Yes, it burned off during the fire. The rest of me too, come to think. The pain was worse for those first few years. Soon it may almost be tolerable. Most think that our kind can heal from anything in time, and yes, more or less. A lucky thing for the medical profession that there are still injuries that can use a little help from these healing hands. Fire, silver, they leave their marks more than most. As well, you see. You can pop a blister if you like.
I'm good, thanks. The drug addicts upstairs. I don't suppose you saw anybody like this.
I could help. Alas, I fear I do not often get out. Often. Truthfully, at all.
Alright, well, we're not going to get anything else from him. Let's leave here. And Old Town. The bricks. I need to put up some posters. Is that a thing I'm supposed to be doing? Oh, Monica Vale, introductions. We haven't met, we probably won't. Try to keep it that way. My name's Monica Vale. You can call me God if you like. It's my job to keep a lid on ghastly little messes our kind are prone to making, so a warning to get us on the same page. Be boring or be smart. Land on my shit list and we'll have trouble. Specifically, I will. Then you will, and then you will not. Kindly take this for the threat it is. Whips and kisses, MV. Okay, this is the sheriff. Okay. Anything else new in here? The most trustworthy liar. Could also be a companion. We're not going to roll around with Tim Curry. We'll stick with Cut Rate Zantana? That's the comic book character, isn't it? Okay. Old Town is where we started off. We don't need to go to the bookstore. Back to the hotel. Let's try the bricks then. A city within the city. Concrete walls topped with barbed wire block access to the old city park. What was once prime Cradlebridge real estate is now walled sanctuary, though a more accurate term would be ghetto. This is where the city stashes vampires deemed too problematic to walk free, but for which it cannot justify more drastic measures. Okay, so it's a prison? Okay, probably not where we're going then. Let's try Old Town. Let's see if we can get something else. Got a notification as well. Not seeing anything different. Something popped up there. Wrong side of the tracks. A once prosperous marketplace now abandoned by even the most of its drug dealers. Okay, there's drug dealers here. This is maybe a spot we can hit up. Their air hangs heavy with the smell of rotting brick and overflowing sewers. Beggars shake tins at passers-by, hoping to scrounge coin for a bed or bottle to keep them warm through the night. A few locals, forced out this late, push past irritably, eyes sallow and fixed on their problems. Handsome man making eye contact. Head to the last nickel diner. Head into the Salvation Center, an old gym turned to refuge for desperate vampires. Head into the Rose at midnight, when life sucks, says, say it with a t-shirt. Well, we have no money. He's handing out purple flyers. Go on then. As always, if there's an NPC, we have to talk to them. The man has the look of a model and the apparent intelligence of a model train. He enthusiastically pushes a purple piece of paper into your hands, advertising a nearby club. The Nighthawks. It's the name of the game. It doesn't look particularly promising, and it's not like you can afford much in the way of night out anyway. Still, you take it, just in case. Handsome man hurries off to another customer. Let's have a look at the t-shirt shop. You approach the store but discover it is closed tonight. The window has been broken with a brick and hastily boarded up. Anti-vampire graffiti has already been plastered across it, including the ever-popular warning, "Dead is dead." Strong words, despite the fact that the Rose's clientele are primarily humans who simply enjoy exploring a gothic aesthetic. So, no shopping this evening. Good thing, because we're broke. The diner? This dark and decrepit diner is nevertheless the only choice in these parts for hot coffee and variably identifiable meats. As you enter, one customer unenthusiastically sips a spoonful of tomato soup. She pauses, then cautiously extracts a long black hair from her teeth. Back in the kitchen, a bold chef absently reaches into his pants and takes a deep, satisfied scratch. Right, so let's not eat here. The Salvation Center. The administrator, speak with a vampire in the ring. I'm not a brawler. Line up for a bowl of charity blood broth. It's a single star. We're topped up. We don't really need it. Hungry eyes watch you enter the Salvation Center, a threadbare boxing gym reluctantly handed over to the undead community by the city council. Volunteers splash highly watered down blood into bowls for the ever-increasing homeless vampire population. It is an unsatisfying broth, barely enough to take the edge off desperation. Alas, it is also the extent of the city's charity. Let's get better at fighting, maybe. Vampire in the boxing ring scowls at her current victim before delivering a kind blow that would knock the average human down for the count. She wipes the blood wipes her brow as you approach, giving you a scathing once over with her granitine stare.
Ah, here for a lesson. Grab yourself some boxing gloves and get up here. You'll survive. Probably.
We've got a new contact, Shauser Kane. Haven't been introduced. Why would a vampire need self-defense lessons?
Name's Saoirse. Kinda the closest to a welcome wagon you're getting. Thing most folks forget is, if you were all soft in life, you're starting out just as soft in death. Too many baby vampires go out thinking immortal is the same as indestructible. Poor bastards.
Not a big fan of pain. Pretty sure you can handle yourself. I wouldn't mind a bit of practice. Actually, yeah, if we got jumped the night before, might be worth it.
Then. Try kicking my arse.
Show her what you can do. Well, ready for a sucky roll. Yep, there you go. Self-defense for the dead. You unleash hell on the giant vampire who takes every blow with ease and returns them with interest. By the time she declares the bout over, you're bruised and battered, but still standing. Not many can claim that after a fight with Shauser.
Not bad. Got a few nicks there, mind. Should get yourself checked out by the doc over at St. Raph's. Plays rough, but knows his stuff.
We've got some respect, and my brawling skill has improved. How much? Just a tad, I'm guessing. Yeah, barely recognizable. Okay, yeah. We're going to have to do this many times to get better. How can you get better at fighting? Where did you learn to fight like this?
These scars. Old school, one by one. Earned them all the old-fashioned way. Snarling, bare-chested, and covered in sweat and blood back in the fighting pits of Dublin. Nothing better for teaching the beast inside you how to roar.
You fought bare-chested? She doesn't fight shirtless here, though.
Don't go getting any funny ideas. Been years since I had a fight worth taking half that serious. Besides, chilly as hell in this burg. You keep your vest on, and I'll keep mine.
Have we started the flirting? You heard of a fight club in this city. Oh, this is one of, this is our street,
True enough. Over in Angel Breach. Maybe get yourself settled in first, then go take on the world. There's no password. They'll ask, but they just want to see if you'll push back.
How can I get better?
Same as everything. Practice. Take your lumps. Not much can deal you out for good. That what can, try not to get in the way of. Fire, silver, anything like that. Just don't be stupid.
Take a moment to recover from your injuries. Sparring does not cause any serious harm. There you go. Current investigations. I doubt she'd know anything. Though we can have her as a companion. We'll ask. Cracks her knuckles irritably, but enjoying standing around and waiting. Not enjoying standing around and waiting. Don't be stupid. Too late for that. Very true. Elijah Morrow. Search for Elijah Morrow brought you to this city. Now it threatens to drag you deep into the depths from which few return.
Heard the king over at Nighthawks muttering about him a fair bit. Don't know why. Don't reckon I care too much either.
Alright. Well, to the bar! Enough with the questions. Let's head out. Where is the Nighthawks? A rundown nightclub near the edge of town. It looks seedy and poorly maintained, but still has a decent line of people waiting to get in and simply seeking shelter from the rain. An irritable bouncer lets them in at a slow but steady drip, checking for drugs and frequently pocketing some bribes from queue jumpers. We have no money to bribe, so attempt to sneak in. My thief skill are an even match. Let's use our powers. catch the bouncer's eye and stare deep into them. He steps aside for you. It's an effect that only lasts a little while, but long enough to get past the long queue. That even now is giving you a look vicious enough to strip flesh from bone. Your feet stick to the carpet. Although the nightclub seems one of the few hotspots in Cradlebridge, it can only be because of the lack of competition. The dance floor lightly throbs with action, while the bar seems quiet enough to have a conversation. A bored-looking redhead alternates between serving drinks and flicking through a paperback book hidden beneath the counter. Right, let's go and have a word with Willow, shall we? Oh, I guess if we had other companions here, we'd be able to, like, individually talk to the folk. Okay, does Lux know much about this place? Madam Lux sits on her usual stool. No, she's a regular here. Sipping from a cocktail glass of newly poured blood. Her foot taps on the nightclub beat. Occasionally, she even hums along. Get to know her better, ask about... I doubt she's going to know much.
Ask whatever you like, and I'll tell you whatever I choose. A lady must keep some secrets,
The club where you work.
It's hardly the Monte Carlo, but it has its charm. I'd avoid the upper floors. The management runs a seedy little brothel up there, and the girls... Well, I hear even those who are here legally haven't seen their passports in a while. Of course, they don't, host cold bloods upstairs. It's almost as if we can't be trusted.
What about yourself?
What you see is what you get, darling. I bring magic into people's lives and reap the reward of their delight. Alas, in life, I was mostly consigned to the role of assistant. To smile and be stabbed and vanished and sawn in half. No more. The night is my stage now, and someone else can wear the glittering panties.
Do you still have them, though?
You're asking if I use my other talents in the name of the art? Absolutely not. To put a spin on an old trick, perhaps, but never to cheat.
Alright, enough with the questions.
Hey, stranger. I'm Becca. What'll it be? Beer, whiskey, a little champagne to get the night started, right? Wait, sorry. My bad. The special wine, yeah?
Becca Glade. We have a green dice here. Your seduction skills are capable of this. Talk to her into giving you one on the house.
Oof. Someone needs to practice their shtick. Here. But don't think it's your sparkling wit. I just have a soft spot for strays.
I mean, I'll take a freebie wherever it is. Finish the blood. You're always thirsty these days.
So, not to be nosy or anything, but what's it like? Drinking blood, I mean.
You don't like the taste? I have no real opinion.
It's weird. I always figured vamps would be into the stuff. I know most of our regulars like to mix in a little cinnamon. Something about handling the iron aftertaste. Anyway.
It's thicker than it is pleasant. There you go. Ask Becca about recent rumors. The king. Current investigation. Chat with. Let's do the small talk thing first. Glances around. There are no other customers right now.
Me? I'm Rebecca. Becca to friends. Becky, if you want me to hurt you. Just your average ex-student buried in debt. Luckily, the boss's shiny fangs tend to scare off new staff pretty quick, so yeah, plenty of extra shifts for Becca.
The club?
For Cradlebridge, it's a pretty high-class kind of dive. Don't need a big metal grill in front of the bar. We've got a few regulars drink here by choice, and it's probably only one of them that keeps shitting in the sink. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll even get uniforms that fit.
And no issues with the vamps?
Oh, I see plenty. Don't worry, I'm cool with it. I mean, I always kind of suspected you folks were around, even before everyone knew for real. Most of the revs I know are okay, just like most folks really. But the others, hey, that's why I've got a pepper spray loaded with silver.
Good to know. No funny stuff with her. Talking about weirdo regulars, don't suppose you've seen this guy around, have you?
Sorry, I don't know the face. My bet? Try down in Old Town. Folks who get lost around here usually end up there. The lucky ones, anyway.
I guess I could have checked with the administrator. She might have known. What about the king? Even as you ask the question, you see Becca's eyes drift slightly. She seems to be looking over your shoulder with mild interest rather than fear.
Oh, I think you'll find out soon enough.
A large, heavy hand clamps down on you. A gorilla in a suit with a stern invitation. I guess we're going to go see the king. The dance music fades as you're led down concrete steps into the basement, where a single bare bulb lights little but rusting nightclub equipment and no shortage of black mold in damp corners. There you are led into an office without windows, where a fat vampire sits smoking an even fatter cigar and flicking through a positively obese roll of money. He gestures for you to be seated.
This the one? Let me guess. You're new around here. Gotta be poking around without even coming to introduce yourself. What's the world coming to, huh?
Hello, Mupe. How are we? If I did go fuck himself. Let's go with an introduction.
Well, will you look at that? Finally, a baby vampire with a sense of propriety.
Takes a long chew on his cigar.
Listen to me, baby vampire. Name's Tancredi, and this here is my territory. Mine. You'll remember that if you want to keep feeding here. There's worse shit than death. Trust me on that one. Now, before we go any further, gotta ask, got any special tricks?
Let's... do we confess? Let's face it, if they're in charge, they're probably gonna know sooner rather than later.
Ha! Now that's a thing. Of course, I don't need to remind you. Stuff like that, it's just a fantasy for the papers. Don't make it anything more.
Tancredi grunts, apparently satisfied.
Anyways, from what I hear, you've been poking your nose around this last week or so. Let's have it then. What's your business in my kingdom? Think very carefully before you try any bullshit.
I'm looking for a man named Elijah.
Morrow, huh? Dangerous name to be dropping around here, baby vampire. Whole lot of people are looking for that piece of shit, including yours truly. Big reward on that head. Real big.
Have business with him.
Well, you better be ready to join the line. Speaking of, Gideon, get this cold blood a pass. No sense having him waste time with the plebes when there's so much work to get done.
Any good demos? Band of Crusaders was pretty good. Currently soon to be a Kickstarter. No actual date. Strategy, small army kind of management game, fighting bandits and demons across it's a little bit like 4X-y kind of vibe to it. Like that kind of management. This isn't bad, actually. I'm kind of digging it. It's very Vampire the Masquerade. Obviously, it's just a visual novel, so a lot of talking, but actually has RPG elements. The fact we have stats and stuff, and that's influencing kind of the choices we make on like conversations and things. I could see this actually being a fairly interesting little kind of playthrough. What about yourself? You found any interesting new games of recent, Mew? The halls of Nighthawks. You're led upstairs through a small maze of unpainted concrete corridors and chipped wood doors to a rather smaller office. It smells of dust and cheap cologne. An ancient computer on the desk. Its cheap grey plastic turned nicotine yellow. Manager takes his seat.
Right. This pass will get you past the queues. Don't lose it. I am Gideon Jenks, the King's Seneschal. I handle his business, including the tribute expected for hunting within the domain.
No.
You will, of course, be expected to pay. Through service, if needed.
Right, well, good, because I don't have any money right now. Oh, we've been, It's more Space Engineers, is it? Well, Space Engineers 2. I don't work for him or his boss.
Indeed, many people believe that at first. They soon learn to dread the coming of winter and the chill of bones that never healed properly. Yes, you think yourself invulnerable as well as immortal. Spare me the naive bravado.
Hero Siege Season 9 is coming soon-ish, and you're really looking forward to that. Okay. What does he know of Elijah?
I am aware that the king is most eager to find the gentleman in question. The reasons are not, I would suggest, any of your concern.
Something scuttles across Gideon's desk. Okay, is this the first time... second time we've actually seen, like, small creatures that we might have benefited from taking the animal companion-y type skill. Spider is large, black and fearless. Gideon stops scribbling in his ledger for a moment. His eyes flick down, and a bead of sweat rolls down his forehead. He coughs, tries his best to ignore it. Is he wanting to eat the bug, or is it talking to him? Or watching him? What does Greedy want from you?
Ah, the correct question. Splendid. Nothing too onerous, I assure you. A little contribution to the greater good in it.
The greater good.
Let us call it protection from misfortune. Insurance.
You're not a huge fan of text-based story games, so you're going to only pay half text. I completely understand. Visual novels and similar types of games are not for everyone. He's still staring at that damn spider. Before you can do anything, Gideon's hand shoots out, scooping up the spider and cramming it into his mouth. He swallows it whole and shivers it, in what could be revulsion, but looks more like a junkie getting their fix. The clock at the back of his office ticks, marking the awkward silence, his trembling hands. He reaches for a cup of coffee. Not just cold, but with a skin on it. What the fuck?
I suppose there's no hiding it. They call it the Renfield compulsion, a side effect of... suffice to say that the king and I have a certain arrangement that I would keep private.
You're his familiar?
One of the more polite terms, unfortunately. I trust I can rely on your discretion.
Of course. Gideon looks relieved, and not without cause. Thralls, vassals, familiars, swiggers, bloodchuggers, traitors are no good names for humans who transfuse vampire blood into their veins.
In the circumstances, perhaps we can shelve the question of our tribute. For now, provided that the new understanding continues, of course.
Okay, I don't have to pay anything at the moment, because we're keeping his secret, sure. Share his knowledge of Elijah.
I am aware that the king is most eager to find the gentleman in question. The reasons are not, I would suggest, any of your concern.
All right then. Well, the club.
This club was founded as a speakeasy long ago. The king was one of 4 such leaders at the time, though quickly rose to dominance. It has been a splendid place to conduct business, as well as a good excuse to keep it nocturnal.
All right, then. Well, I guess that's enough of the questions. Quiet place for the chosen elite. I don't think we're going to get much else out of this. Call a cab to take you back to Halcyon. And check your phone. Vampires have to be very careful to keep an eye on the time. I mean, presumably dawn. I've still got probably easily another 4, maybe 5 hours. The rain beats down on the windscreen as the taxi threads its way back to the Halcyon Hotel, what currently passes for home. You stare out the window as the city blurs past, reflecting on the night and the many nights ahead of you. It's a new world out there, filled with stories, dangers, and opportunities. A new world where outcasts can thrive, and where death truly is just the beginning. Either that, this is the end of the demo. But that will have to wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, click to wish list. Back to the main menu. Thank you for playing Nighthawks demo. We hope you enjoyed your brief trip to the city. That we'll be seeing you again for the full adventure. Wish list, yada yada yada. Actually, not a bad one. Definitely one I think people will who like Vampire the Masquerade and kind of story-based ones. I think they'll get a dig it. Also, if memory serves, it's from devs Wadjet Eye, I think is the that have done a lot of point and clicks, right? Nighthawks. Who's the devs on it again? No, they're publishers. Wadjet Eye Games. The developer on this is the Curiosity Engine. Okay. But yeah, because Wadjet Eye do a lot of point and click ones. They have their own distinctive style. But yeah, also I'm very disappointed in many of my audience that didn't pick up on like this is definitely based on Alison Hannigan and we had Tim Curry earlier as well. But yeah, that's Nighthawks. Demo up on Steam now. No date on actual release though. So yeah, if you want to check it out, you know where to find it. All right.